Good afternoon, everyone. Today I'd like to share with you a short video showing what it's like to participate in personalized form corrections online. The video will demonstrate how easy it is to be able to participate with the system that I've created and how well it works. From stark beginners right up to instructor ranks are showing really nice improvements. So first you're going to see one of my students demonstrating a couple of movements from the form, and you'll see me come on and you'll see the corrections, the explanations that I give to her. And then at the end of that, you'll see she's then practiced for the week or so and sent me back another video. Okay, corrections time. Right. Overall, your form, your general flow and grounding, this kind of thing is really improving over the weeks compared to where you started from. So you're doing really well with that. Obviously, these two postures are quite complex, so there's going to be a lot of technical issues with exactly where to place your hand. So that's the main thing I'll focus on today with your corrections. Okay, so from the beginning, the sit back ready posture, where we come from here. Okay. The main thing you're not getting is the ready part, the sit back ready, the tuck, in order to then reach out into Fisher's Innate. So you're opening your center just a little bit here, which is correct as you're sitting back, but then you're staying open, you see, and then continuing into Fisher's Innate. So what I want you to do is open just like you are, but then there's this, just towards the end of the move, you see, there's this tucking. See how the right hip is dropping in? Or the front hip, whichever side of the form you're doing it on. See, it tucks in there, coils you up, and then you can shoot out into the next move. So have a play with that. After that, this part here, the very first part of this move is looking really nice and fluent and structured, all looking good until we get to about the halfway mark when this happens, the wash the window and you go out to the side. The wash the window could just be a little more up and over. So at the moment, it's like you're rotating the hand, but trying to keep it on the same level. So the hand should just go like this. You see, just naturally. It's not like you're lifting it up in the air, but not trying to hold the same line either. It's just how it would naturally happen, like that. You see, so the hand will go up just a little and then drops back in. Now, this turn out to the corner, your body is doing the right stuff. Your body is facing the correct direction and so on. However, your arm, your left arm, your rear arm, what it's doing is from here, it's extending out like this. So your hand is actually going far too far to the side. So think about that palm, the palm of this hand, as facing the corner, right, over to here, the northwest corner. But also make sure that it does not in any way rotate like this, you see? So you can see it's in, I'll just put that left hand in frame. So you can see there, it's like so, the thumb is down, right? When we go into this, when the right hand begins to wash the window, your left hand's following that just a little bit like this. So it's also changing its angle. Whereas the left hand should be, you see? It's staying, because you're grabbing an arm, you see, and pulling it across. So doing that is only going to lose you power. So keep your arm thumb down. The elbow joint does fractionally extend as you do it. Not a huge amount, so it's still, this kind of thing. So it's got a nice bend in it. But yeah, the main component is keep that left thumb down. So you're looking like that towards the end of the move. The coming back, this is looking nice coming through here, but then the pushing out, what you're doing is you're opening your center. Okay, you're turning back to the open side of the move. The structure of the palms and so on is very good. I would say the left hand could be a little bit more yang. Okay, it's gone a bit soft like that. So just yang up that rear hand. But the structure here, you've got that structure correct in terms of the front hand. So do the same thing you're doing with that hand on the other side. Even though on this side you're pushing out, whereas this side you're sweeping back and dragging back, the actual final shape is more or less the same. So a little bit more yang there, everything else is fine. But yeah, you're opening like this. It's not an opening move, it's a closing move. So you're coming into here, you see, I've squared off to the front. Now I've got to turn from the front to the corner with my center. You see? Turning into the posture. That's the only thing really going wrong. Just turn into it, which will fix up the only error which is happening when you do single whip. When you do single whip, what's happening is that the actual move you're doing is really nice. You've got a very nice connection to your center. Your hand is moving in all the correct ways. It's nice and smooth and structured. That's probably your best move that you've done so far. It's very nice to look at. But because you're already opened, you've already opened your body on the Fisher's Innate, the whole structure of this movement is a little too open. It should be much more closed than that. So if you simply close your center here for Fisher's Innate, now when I do single whip, there's just a little bit of an opening and a closing, which is what you're already doing. You're doing an opening and a closing. But if you start here, the opening is, really, really stretched out. So center yourself into the corner, and then there's a little open and close. Everything else you're doing very nicely. The actual coming into the final posture, that you're doing that pretty damn well actually. Your balance and structure, you're not standing up. Your back's not perfect yet, as we've been talking about. There's a little tiny arch in your back, a little bit of lean forward. So those are things we're working on as a thing all the time. But generally speaking, you're holding your balance well. Your knee is only very slightly occasionally coming offline, but it's mostly holding its stability. So that's good. Couple of things though. The front hand, when you come through here, a little bit more extended, you see, like so. So it's looking a bit like this at the moment. So just extend that arm out a little bit, and then be very careful. The flow here is lovely, except on the end, watch the left hand. You're doing the same thing with your hand that your foot's doing. So the hand's going yang when the foot goes yang. What we want is for the foot to go yang, but the hand goes yin up. And then the hand only goes yang once you start moving into the movement. Otherwise, of course, it's a dead hand movement like we've talked about in many other postures. Okay? And then the final thing, the dragging of that rear foot, you're kind of doing it like you're opening, finishing the posture, and then it's sort of on its own. So the center should be going open, and then watch, I'm still moving forward as that foot comes through, rather than kind of finishing, I'm already 70%, and then the foot going on its own. So the foot should be dragging at the end of that weight shift. Very good, try that. Let me know how you go. Right, so you can see there how simple it is. All Maya had to do was film herself doing the two postures, took 30 seconds, send me through the video on a messenger app. I then take a look and send her back her corrections. And if you have any experience in Taiji, you should be able to see by the second video she's sent, after the corrections I've given her, she's been able to implement those corrections into her form. So sure, it's not perfect yet, but it's looking really, really nice. A hell of a lot better than it was before. It's important to note also that as a teacher, we never give every single correction all at once. I mean, unless there's only 2 or 3 corrections to give and everything else is fine. But generally speaking, especially with beginners, you don't want to detail every single little tiny error they're making, otherwise it's too much for them to absorb, and then they'll learn nothing. So what I tend to do is I point out the most important corrections to begin with, and wait until that student has started to internalize those corrections, they're really sinking in, then I'll start nitpicking at the more subtle things afterwards. So don't be shy, Send me a video along, pick any 2 postures of whichever form you're practicing, and I'll send you back a quick video. Keep on training hard, guys, and I'll see you soon.